Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Tailor Tales. I'm sorry if I sound a bit like softer today. It's because Tyler is sleeping and I don't want to be way too loud and wake him up. And yeah, don't want to be that person. But if you also hear something in the background, it's TV. So today's episode is very weird. So yeah, anyway, I played a little bit and got some coins so we can continue on with the store. 10,000? Bro, that's like half of my money. I thought I did a lot. Now I basically did nothing because it just ate half of my amount. Okay. My fate with Neil is still a bit unclear since that day. He never came right out with it that he wanted to continue to see me. All he did was kiss me, which I guess sort of let me know that Neil at least has some feelings for me. But what those feelings are, I don't know. Even my own feelings are an enigma to me. All I know is I long to see him again and run my fingers through his black hair and press my lips against his. He's become like a drug to me, something I cannot get enough of. For several days I hear nothing. Everything is still unclear and up in the air. Then a week passes and I finally decide to pull the trigger and text Neil first. I fiddle around with my phone and send a text to Neil, asking him if going to dinner with his parents has paid off and if he has to work less. It takes 8 hours before I get a reply to that. No. That's all it says. I feel a bit cheated out of the answer. I went through that entire ordeal and Neil's office hours weren't even cut down, so in the end it didn't even matter. Thinking about it irritates me. All that for nothing. I haven't heard anything from Angela either. She hasn't said a peep, and I'm not sure how to initiate contact with her either since we didn't really leave each other on good terms. I'm still mad about her using me like that. Maybe I can simply swing by and see if she's there to talk things through. So that's what I do. I head over to Angela's apartment. When I ride the elevator up to her floor, I ring the doorbell, and I hear a commotion coming from inside. Angela certainly seems home, but it sounds like she might be busy. Perhaps I should have called before coming over. The door opens and Angela's face pops up, looking confused, and her hair is disheveled. Ichiko? She says. I wince at the smell of alcohol coming from her mouth. What are you doing here? Okay, Angela definitely seems to be drunk at 1 p.m. I came over to talk, I say. Now I feel a bit hesitant. Maybe I should come back some other time. Angela suddenly grabs me by the wrist and pulls me inside the apartment. For being drunk, she sure has a lot of strength. I stumble inside. The place looks like a mess. The once impeccable apartment now has magazines lying on every piece of furniture, chairs not pushed under the table, vases lying down on the floor. What happened here? I ask in shock. Did someone break in? I have a bit of creative block, Angela hiccups. So that's why I need to get a little chaotic with my environment. She has a glass of wine in her hands and lifts it up. This is a great choice of poison to get my creative juices running again. I grab the glass from her hand. I think that's enough, Angela. I can't bear to see Angela like this, completely wasted in her own home. Angela gives me an undignified look and she wobbles a bit on her feet. I wasn't finished with that, she protests weakly. I'll come back some other time, okay? How about you go rest? I try to persuade her and she really seems drunk. More often do I encounter Angela drunk like this, it's getting worse. But how do you even get someone to realize they need to stop drinking so much? Suddenly Angela is pulling me by the wrist down onto the couch with her. There's no need to leave, darling. Stay, have a drink. I'll pass. I keep the glass of wine away from her and try to stand up from the couch. Why are you in a rush to leave? Have I done something wrong? Whines Angela. I bite my lip to prevent myself from saying yes. We can talk tomorrow or something, when you're sober, and can actually have an adult discussion. Are you saying I'm not an adult? Angela snaps at me. Just because I'm drunk out of my mind doesn't mean I'm not an adult. That's not what I'm saying, Angela. I sigh. There's plenty of things I want to say, just not now. Angela crosses her arms and looks away from me. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to tell me all about how irresponsible I am, how I set you up to meet Neil's parents. She looks at me again, this time her eyes are tearing up. I know you want to say I make horrible and childish decisions, that I don't care about what other people might want or not. But I do care, she yells. I care so much I don't want I don't know what to do when someone I love is in pain. I can't make the pain go away with a simple wish. I can only do so much. I look at her, sympathetic to her friend. In her own way, Angela has been trying to look out for Neil. She's just not very elegant about it, and trying to create shortcuts to fix a problem that is much more complex, it seems. What am I supposed to do? I see him growing up more miserable with each day, wasting his youth on a stuffy old hospital. I can't bear it. Is that why you're drinking here in the afternoon? I ask her. Do you feel guilty about your actions? I don't want to muddy our relationship with what I've done, says Angela. I do enjoy having you around as a friend. And I enjoy having you as a friend, I say with a smile. But this still isn't the best time to talk about this. Why don't you rest up, take a nap? I finally get up from the couch. Angela tries once more to keep me down by grabbing my wrist, except this time her coordination is even more unbalanced, so she misses completely and grabs nothing but air. Her entire body topples forward with her momentum until I can't do anything but watch in horror as her head lands right on the edge of the coffee table. Oh wow, I didn't catch her? Angela lies unconscious on the floor in a small pool of blood. Oh, that's great. Okay. Things are hectic, unpredictable, and chaotic. I find myself simply staring at the closed door of the room that Angela is staying in. The hospital had to admit her for the night and monitor any changes in behavior to see if her concussion has gotten worse. They said it looked worse than it really was. Angela was only unconscious for a couple of minutes, but that's mostly because she was also heavily drunk. I'm fiddling with my thumbs, sitting on a bench in the hallway, looking as people pass me by. Neil is in the room with Angela. He arrived about 15 minutes ago and still hasn't come out. I'm so shaken up from everything. Seeing Angela on the floor like that was pretty terrifying. I panicked but managed to call the emergency number, as well as notify Neil. He came as soon as she was admitted, luckily already being at the hospital. I can only imagine what's going on. Neil looked distressed and pissed off at the same time when he came in. God, I don't ever want to go through something like that again, I say with a sigh. It's been almost half an hour now, and the door finally opens. Neil walks out and closes behind him with an exasperated sigh. My eyes follow him as he sits down next to me. He hangs his head down as he leans on his knees. How is she? Sobered up? I ask. For the most part, she doesn't seem to be saying anything deranged, aside from her usual nonsense. They need her to stay the night, I say. I know. Neil runs a hand through his black hair. How did this even happen? I don't know. She was drunk when I saw her, tried to get up from the couch, fell over, and this is the result. The only brain damage she's sustaining is the one she's inflicting on herself with that godforsaken alcohol, says Neil bitterly. I don't really know what to say, so I say nothing instead, and I gently place a hand on Neil's back. I can feel him tense up at my sudden touch, but then he sighs once more and relaxes a bit. He looks up at me. How can you save someone from themselves? I lower my eyes and stare at the floor. I'm not quite sure how to answer that. I don't know how to help Angela kick off her bad habit of getting drunk. She'd probably laugh at any attempts to hide her bottle of wine. But it seems her alcoholism is also fueled by her inability to help out Neil, whom she feels fiercely protective of. Don't, I say hesitantly. They have to help themselves. People are stubborn like that. I give him a knowing look, like someone I know. He brushes off my hand and gives me an undignified look. He then continues to brood in silence. When did she start drinking so much, I ask. I can't even remember. It's been like this for a long time. Always drinking as much as she can at parties. However, it wasn't until her graduation that I started encountering her drunk more often. I don't know why. Stress? Grief from her father passing away? It could be anything. I didn't know her father was deceased. Neil leans his back against the wall, looking up at the fluorescent lamps of the hospital. He is silent for a minute. It was a long time ago, he says softly. I think Angela turning to alcohol as a crutch, has more to do with Neil than with her deceased father, though, or at least at the moment it does. I think Angela's bad habit of getting herself drunk might also have something to do with you, I admit. Neil raises his eyebrows at me, before lowering them again. What's that supposed to mean? She's worried about you. Even this entire scheme she cooked up with us being engaged, it was all a ploy so that you would have more time off work. I sigh deeply. I'm beginning to understand Angela a little more, despite disapproving of her alcohol habits. She has her own demons she's fighting. I think she's frustrated seeing you like this, so she drinks more than necessary. A long silence stretches out, and I watch the nurses and doctors pass by with an unfocused gaze. I look back at Neil next to me, and he has such a painful expression on his face, like he's bottling everything up. "How can she be so stupid?" says Neil, his voice wavering with emotions, always concerning herself with me. "That's just Angela's way of showing her affection," I say with a slight shrug and smile. His eyes flash over towards me. "Stupid like you." A comment like that would have set me off before, but considering the precarious situation we're in, I can only take it as an endearing comment instead. "Are you alright? Missing out on work?" I decide to ask. He was already at the hospital when it happened, so he was here on the scene pretty quick. At a certain point, they'll notice I'm gone, and I'll have another annoying secretary on the lookout for me. "I can hide you," I say. Neil snorts. "How?" "I can put a bag over your head." Oh. A short burst of laughter comes out of Neil. He then folds his arms and shakes his head at me. There's a slight smile on his lips, and it makes me happy I got him to relax a bit. "I think they would notice such an obvious sham," he says. Happy that he's at least entertaining my joke, I scoot a bit closer to him. "I can print out someone else's photo and stick it on the bag so no one can recognize you. You'll fool them all, pretending to be someone else." "It would be a nice change of pace to not be myself," says Neil in a softer voice. Realizing what he said, he quickly scrambles to correct himself. "I mean, clearly I live a magnificent life, but I wouldn't mind being able to dodge those secretaries." "Relax, Your Majesty. I know you meant to say you wish you could escape your responsibilities. Even I do sometimes." "What kind of responsibilities would you even have? Having to count the number of customers that enter your store?" "A whole floor! So much stress," he mocks. I glare at him. "I get way more than 4 customers a day," I say defensively. "Angela doesn't count," he points out. "She's a legit customer." "So you're agreeing that you only get 4 customers a day?" "What? No, I'm not. Don't twist my words around. If you're only getting 4 customers a day, then you should market yourself better, spend some money on advertising, make seasonal clothing, give discounts to returning customers, and for God's sake, get a business card already. You don't even own a website." I feel my cheeks starting to blush. Neil's right. I haven't done most of those things. With Sarah, I've done a few photo shoots and handed the pictures out as flyers, but that's all the advertising I've done. I kept putting it off to make my own website, that eventually I was simply making excuses and procrastinating. The pride inside of me refuses to admit Neil's right, so I turn my head away from him to hide my embarrassment. Oh, yawning. "How would you even know I don't have a website?" I mutter. Obviously, I had to find out who exactly was making my blazer. I checked every single combination of words I could think of, but got no hits in any search engine. The most I could find was your company listed in the local business registry. I couldn't even find you on any social media. You're simply lousy at keeping an online presence. Couldn't even find a single picture of you. What are you doing looking for pictures of me online? Or, you're right, I really should get a website at least. No, what are you doing looking me up online? I whip my head towards him again. What are you looking for pictures on? What are you doing looking for pictures of me online? I demand to know. His face slowly starts to turn red. I wasn't. You just said you tried every combination in a search engine to look for my pictures. Who would waste their time looking for pictures of you online? Apparently you just admitted it. I admitted no such thing. Don't think so highly of yourself. I was merely looking for information about your boutique. Why would I even care about you personally? There's another one of those comments again, the immediate deflection whenever Neil gets heated up. I'm starting to understand him a little bit more now, so I managed to not get all riled up. It still brings up an urge to punch him in the face, though. Why don't you try being honest with yourself for a change? You can't look me in the eye and say you don't care about me personally. I give Neil a serious look, and when his eyes meet mine, he bashfully turns his gaze elsewhere. He bites down on his lips. "Fine, I do care," he says softly. "But it's different right now. I didn't know you back then." His readiness to admit he cares about me right now makes my heart thump unexpectedly. I want to remember this moment, so I slowly lean my head against his shoulder and take out my cell phone. I hold it out in front of me and turn the camera towards the both of us. "Smile," I say. "Huh? Oh, is it another picture?" Aw, it's like he was closing his eyes. That's so cute. Neil, you look ridiculous. I start laughing uncontrollably. Neil is making a super funny expression in the picture, his eyes half open and his mouth pulled into this weird snarl. It's too funny. Don't suddenly take pictures of me, he growls. Delete that. I mean, what in the world is going on with your eye there? Does it always do that? Delete it. Now! No way, let's take one more then. There you go. There you go. I look at the result. This time Neil isn't blinking. No, the picture captured his shy expression instead. He looks uncomfortable and slightly embarrassed. I'm definitely keeping both of these pictures. You had your fun. Now delete them. I quickly upload it to my social media. Were those the two pictures I didn't have, or was that just one? And then you can like change it. Did you just upload that picture? There, you said you couldn't find any pictures of me online, and now there's at least one. And secretly, I also did it because I sort of wanted a picture of us together. Why do I have to be in there too? He says in an irritated tone. And why that one? Because I start. It's fun teasing you. Neil frowns at me, probably surprised I even admitted to such a thing. I simply shrug at him with a smile. He looks away with a cough. Didn't know you could have fun around me, he murmurs. I'm just about to reply to that until a man comes walking up, seemingly on the lookout for Neil. Oh, gosh, he's sad. Neil's suddenly up on his feet, his eyes wide and his back straight. Father, he says with an uncharacteristic stutter. Oh no, it's Neil's father. I feel awkward in his presence. Does he know I'm not really Neil's fiancé? Why did you skip out on the meeting with Harrison? He's been angry and complaining non-stop. You better explain to me, boy. The way Marcus talks to Neil is like he's dealing with a 4-year-old that misbehaved and needs to be reprimanded. Frankly, I'm a bit shocked at the way he's treating Neil. He's completely ignored my presence as well. Like I'm not even worried of his time. I guess I didn't need to worry about whether or not he knew I was faking it with Neil. Neil hangs his head down and seems to be unable to look at his father in the eye. Angela? That troublemaker again? How many times are you going to use her as the excuse, or unexcuse? You need to owe up to your responsibilities, Neil. You'll never be fit for this kind of work otherwise. I frown at Marcus. Angela's in the room right in front of him. He only came because he was worried. He's not even listening to Neil's reason for abandoning his post. Family emergencies aren't a valid excuse. Does he even care a relative is in the hospital? Apologies, father. I'll return straight away. I've never seen Neil this compliant and defeated before. Where did all his bite and spunk go? The one that would argue to hell and back. And again, he was similar during our dinner a week ago. This will be the last time that I'll see you skip out on work. Do it again and I won't hesitate to cut you off. Isn't that the whole reason I pretended to be his fiancé in the first place? So that Neil wouldn't have to work so much? What was the point of doing it in the first place if he's still going to keep Neil on a tight leash? Sitting here listening to Neil's father berating him like this is infuriating. I know it's not my place to say anything, but boy do I want to. Neil finally turns to me, but his eyes aren't meeting mine. He feels lifeless. I have to work. Thanks for taking care of Angela. Have a good day. Together with his father, Neil walks away from me. Wow. Wow, there's more? I have enough for that one, though. Okay. I have enough for that. No, that was one picture. Okay, we got one more picture to go, then. And that's when we know the game's over. Angela has left the hospital in good health, with just a small line of stitches on her forehead that she covers with her hair. She let me know in a text that she appreciates I was there. Appreciates I was there for her and that this wouldn't happen again. On one hand, I do still want to talk about the whole pretending to be engaged with Neil thing, and on the other hand, I feel bad due to her injury and don't really want to bother her about it. It seems Angela has her own set of problems to deal with. I haven't spoken to Neil since that time at the hospital. Ever since he left with his father, he hasn't spoken to me, not even a single snide text message. I'm actually a little bit worried. It was only through Angela that I knew Neil was working non-stop. The whole fiancé thing was basically for nothing. Neil's hours didn't get cut back, and Angela has expressed her frustrations with it. I can't believe I went along with it for a while and it didn't even help. So much for playing along. Keep myself busy with my boutique. If I need something to lift my spirits, I look at that selfie I took with Neil. That always gets a laugh out of me. I decided to hire someone to design me some business cards and create a website, and they tucked me into an entire new corporate identity, with letterheads and all. It's expensive, but it should put me out there and net me more customers. Plus, I already knew I needed a website, I just never got around to getting one. It's not because of Neil or anything. Okay, maybe it is a little bit because of Neil, but I won't tell him that. Jerk. I'm so engrossed in my own thoughts. I don't notice someone entering the store until they're standing in front of me at the counter. Good morning, Michiko. It's Evelyn, Neil's mother. My mouth drops open. I did not expect this announced house call. Good morning, I managed to say. I feel my heart rate speed up. I'm nervous standing in front of her. What if she knows? Does she know? I don't know. Why is she here? I got an address from Angela and decided I wanted to come and visit your quaint little shop. Evelyn looks around as she says this. I'm getting flashbacks from the time Neil first dropped by, giving the exact same commentary. Oh, well, I'm just here attending the register, I say with a small, nervous laugh. It's a slow day. I see. I feel like she's judging the hell out of my boutique, but I like to assume she has enough class to not voice those negative thoughts. She doesn't seem to be like Neil's father in the sense that she still continues to be polite. Evelyn starts walking around, looking at the clothing that are showcased on the mannequins. Her left hand reaches out to touch the fabric of a long dress. She looks so elegant in my store and sort of out of place. I don't really get rich customers. Angela was the exception, but Angela dresses like she has a party to go to. Nothing like Evelyn, who looks like she could be the queen of the country. Are you planning on making your own wedding dress? Evelyn asked. Stumped at the sudden question, I simply looked down at my counter to think. Yes, of course, I've dreamed of making my own wedding dress. Never did I imagine I'd be fake engaged and would make it for a fake wedding. Oh god, please don't ever let it get this far. Yes, I decided to answer. I should calm down, it's not like this wedding's happening for real. I've always wanted to make my own wedding dress. I got married in my grandma's wedding dress, she says. Vintage? Certainly, but after looking at these pictures for a couple of decades, I regret not wearing one of my own tastes. A lot of women used to do that, I say. It was pretty common those days. Do you not like your wedding pictures? Evelyn laughs. They're best buried beneath a thick layer of dust. I absolutely loathe them. No, I don't need a reminder that I've been married to Marcus for who knows how many years. It almost sounds like she hates being married to him, and I can totally see why, if his interactions with Neil is any indication of how he treats others. But this is not any of my business. Did you marry young? I decided to ask. We were high school sweethearts. We married soon after graduation. That's a long time. I guess they were each other's first. It's a good thing that these days people wait until they're in their 20s to get married. I think Neil's at the perfect age to get married. Evelyn suddenly gives me a slight smile. Oh dear, I don't think I've asked how old you are yet. I'm 23, I answer. Turning 24 soon. Ah, to be young again, says Evelyn wishfully. I have my doubts that Neil would ever find a suitable partner to marry. I fiddle with my thumbs. It's not like I'm really getting married to Neil, and with this conversation, it's definitely awkward. I hate having to go through the charade. It was only going to be for one night. It wasn't supposed to continue, this pretending to be a Neil's fiancé thing. Why is that? Does he scare people off with that sharp tongue of his? I say with a snort. I can definitely see Neil chase away any potential romantic interest with that mouth of his. Sure, he looks handsome, and those lips. I can't start fantasizing about Neil in front of his mother. More or less, Neil's a lovely young man. He takes care of his family, but he can be a bit awkward around women his age. It's never gone well. Every girl introduced to him should run away with tears in her eyes. Sometimes I think he does that on purpose, despite me. I'm trying to imagine Neil going on a blind date with a girl and saying something insulting and her running out on their date. Sounds really funny, to be honest. Play along and defend Neil. Apart from more embarrassing information about Neil. Nah, number one. So you're saying Neil has no experience with girls? I asked, trying to squash the smirk on my face. I think he has plenty of experience scaring them, Evelyn sighs. I try to teach him proper manners, but he gets too easily flustered. I snort. I can only imagine the number of girls he's scared off. This is comedy gold. Neil, with all his smooth talk and insults, gets flustered around girls. That's why I'm so happy to see the two of you get along. Oh, sorry, yawning and stretching. I snapped my mouth shut. Me and Neil getting along. In what universe? Doing? I say nervously. So, have you decided on a wedding date yet? What? Do you even see a ring on my finger? I don't think so. I blink. What am I supposed to say now? We haven't really decided on anything yet. Ha! Yeah, cause it's never happening. I start to break out into a cold sweat. That's alright, my dear. Planning a wedding takes a lot of time and effort. I want you to know that Marcus and me will fully cover the expenses to your wedding, so please involve me in your planning. For the second time that day, my mouth drops open. I almost forgot Neil's supposed to be rich, but the way they're just waving their money around like it's nothing is still so absolutely foreign to me. I mean, earlier today I was haggling down the price of my new website with the designer to save a few pennies, and here is Evelyn saying she'll fully cover a wedding like it's pocket change. Rich people live in a different world. I stand up straight. Right, yes, I will do that. We stare at each other, having nothing else to say. It's awkward. And I suddenly remember why I was even doing this whole stupid thing. It was to get Neil's hours cut down, especially now that I haven't even seen Neil in a while. By the way, I'd love to have Neil around more. I cringe as I say this. So is it possible for his hours to be cut down at work? He seems a bit exhausted. I will try, but it's Marcus that has the final say. Although I'm fairly sure he'll comply once I tell him you're busy planning a wedding. But I'm no... Evelyn looks down at her golden watch, then smiles at me. Sorry, mi chico, I'm afraid I have to cut our time short. I have to leave for a lunch date. Oh, okay, I say. I feel a bit silenced here. Like Evelyn really wants a wedding to happen. Enjoy your lunch date, ma'am. Have a nice day, dear. Evelyn gives me a little wave with her hand and then leaves the store. I let out an exasperated sigh. Who knew talking to your fake mother-in-law could be so stressful? I quickly take out my cell phone and I text Neil a message. You owe me big time. Question marks. Your mother dropped by my store and wanted to talk about wedding plans. What did you say? That I was only pretending and I actually hate your guts. Clearly, you need to return the sense of humor you bought, because it's defective. Now, what did you say? I haven't confessed to anything, if that's what you mean. How long do I have to keep this up? I'm working on it. Well, work faster. It's exhausting to be your fiancé. After that, Neil no longer replies. It's been the first interaction we had since that day in the hospital. I'll admit, I'm a bit worried about him. Maybe he's working himself too much. I miss talking to him as well. I hope Evelyn will pull some strings and relieve his workload. And just to give myself a little boost, I send that picture of me and Neil to his phone. The one where he looks dashingly stupid. I hate you. I burst out into laughter. That was cute. Oh, I should change my girl's outfit. Dude, outfit I love so much. There we go. I need to... Why is it getting so expensive? How many chapters does this guy have? Cause I just need one last picture. Oh. It's 5'9". How tall is Dimitri? 6'1". Oh, we can actually read about the other guys that we're never gonna be able to play for yet. Like right now, yet. He's younger as well. Oh, same age? No, I'm 23, turning 24 in this game. Older, younger. Okay, so it's half younger guys, half older guys. Let's see, Kane. He's a student, part-timer at the convenience store. 5'7", during an open house day at your college, someone warns you about a thief. When you confront him, it turns out to be Kane, and he suddenly hugs you. Wait, right. Each game I'm different. Each route I'm a different age. But Dimitri's still obviously younger than me. He suddenly hugs you. After graduating, you run into Kane once more. And surprise, surprise, he's stealing a necklace. When you try to stop him, he gets away. That all changes when you find out he works at the local convenience store. And you notice Kane getting bullied by a bunch of his old classmates. You help him out, which only confuses Kane even more about your intentions. You help out a thief and guide him down the right path, or will he always struggle with immoral behavior? Can't read his story, right? Yeah, we can't. Okay. James? After you purchase your boutique, you seek out the help of professionals to help you remodel everything. Oh, he's a Finnish carpenter. And you stumble upon James, a Finnish carpenter. It seems the place you bought has quite a few hidden surprises. A leak in the roof, mold in the bathroom. James will continue to work for you as long as there's money, and he doesn't complain much. He's quiet and gives short answers, which sometimes feel a little rude. Even though he's been working for you for so long, James remains unapproachable, and you still don't know much about him or his personal life. And then you find yourself in a life-threatening situation when you discover a bee nest in your walls. Okay. Sam is a hairdresser. When you're only 15 years old, a bunch of boys harass you at a movie theater, but a blonde girl comes to your rescue. You two become friends for a while until you grow apart. Years later, you happen to meet her brother as you go to the hairdresser for a haircut. He doesn't want to talk about his sister a lot, and you wonder what happened between them. A week after your visit at the saloon, Sam personally seeks you out. As it turns out, one of his clients had lice that day, and it may have transferred to you. You start scratching your head and look at him in horror. Thankfully, Sam is kind enough to get rid of the lice free of charge, and you wonder how such a nice guy like him had a falling out with his sister. Okay, streamer, IT guy. Oh, you and Aiden or Aiden? I don't know how you want to pronounce that. Yegar. Know each other through an online game where he's a popular and well-liked player. Aiden is friendly to everyone but enjoys spending late night talks with you, where he may get a little too flirty with you sometimes. Together you become pretty good friends and game late into the night. It's about time you meet up with A in person, except he keeps making dodgy excuses and pushes back the date each time. When you finally meet him by complete accident, you find out he's not who he says he is. Were you catfished? Wow, his sounds interesting. I really want to go his route. He's interesting. He was a babe, bro. Just a babe. Especially with that black hair. My god, he's so cute. He is so cute. I'm obsessed with Neil. So obsessed. But anyway, I have to do more grinding for them coins because I have no idea how long Neil's chapter is. So we have one more picture to unlock. So maybe we're getting close. I have no freaking idea. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.